Don't forget to use TCG Center 5 code on ccgcastle.com and get 5% discount on your purchase. Check video description or visit CCG Castle for more. Hello everyone, welcome back to Pokemon TCG Center. Mario with you, and today we'll be looking at the deck review from the Virginia Regional Championship Top 8 Master Division, Anthony Mimmons. So basically he played Mega Rayquaza EX with, as you can see, Emerald Break attack, which will does 30 damage times the number of your benched Pokemons in play. So basically, even that Pearl City was printed, which will reduce the possibility and chance on Mega Rayquaza to do some output damage. In my opinion, Mega Rayquaza is still a good and viable deck in Standard, and even can be better in the expanded format, and there is a proof. As you can see, it managed to get to top 8. So Emerald Break can be used pretty fast. Basically with one double colorless energy and with one Mega Turbo, you can even hit turn 1 for like 240 in theory with the Skyfield, and that's pretty easy because you should probably have those Shaman, Jirachis and Hoopas EX in your deck, and with all of that support you can pretty easily do something like that. Also, Mega Rayquaza have the evolution ability, Delta Evolution, which says that you might play this card from your hand to evolve a Pokemon during your first turn. So basically, this is something like the Wally for the non-EX Pokemons, but it's just a way better. So with the 220 HP, pretty strong, only 1 retreat cost, weakness on lightings, which can be removed with the Altaria, and resistance to fightings minus 20. And pretty much that's it. That's the main attacker in this deck. You don't have the second main attacker in this deck. Mega Rayquaza EX is all that you actually have in your deck. So let's see what else he have in his deck. So there is one Altaria, as I mentioned it earlier, with the clear humming, so ability which says that each of your colorless Pokemons in play has no weakness, which means that those really popular Raichus or Yveltals in the expanded will not be able to hit you for weakness, only if they decide to knock out your Altaria from play. But in that case, you'll be able to trade your Altaria for something even better and huge. To help you with the draw Ultra Ball, there is one Execute with the Propagation, which will allow you to, once during your turn, put Execute back from your discard pile to your hand, so you can just play Execute with one other card to use Ultra Ball. And also 3 copies of Hoopa with the Scoundrel Ring. Yes, sorry for pronouncing that. Also have the nice ability, when you play Hoopa EX from your hand to bench, you are able to draw your to take 3 Pokemons, up to 3 Pokemons from your deck to your hand, so that's pretty good for setup, especially in the late, early game, and the mid game. Sorry for that. Okay, so what is really special about this deck? Definitely his speed. So we also have 4 Shaman EX with the setup in this deck. Pretty good ability, which will allow you to draw cards until you have 6 in your hand, and just in case you stack in front with the Shaman, you can just carry turn for 30 and put Shaman back. But there is also one Keldeo in this deck, so with the Keldeo you'll be also able to rush in and retreat for free. So Shaman will only be here for the increase the damage amount that will be output to your opponent's active Pokemon, and of course also for the setup. So also 3 Rayquazas EX with the intensifying burn, but I don't think you should probably with this deck attack with the Rayquaza EX. It's all about the Mega Rayquaza. And the last Pokemon, okay, it's not the last, but I totally forgot to mention one Swablu also in this deck. But yeah, right now is the last Pokemon is in this deck, Keldeo EX with the Rush-In ability, which says once during a turn, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you can just rush in the active spot, and if you want with the Flow Stone, you can just free retreat back, so you can remove those special conditions on your Pokemons and stuff like that, and have free retreat. 17 Pokemon in total, 36 trainer cards, and 7 energies. Moving to trainer cards and supporter item cards, so what we have in this deck? We have 3 Acrobikes. With the Acrobikes, we'll be able to look at the top 2 cards of the deck and put one into hand, discard the other card. So he played 3 Acrobikes, which allows him to draw even more cards through his deck with those Shamins, and this is just good. Acrobikes is good because if you don't have Ultra Ball or something like that, or if you just want to grab Shamin, but you cannot grab it with the Trainer's Mail, well, you can do it with the Acrobike. That's the reason why it's good. Also, the 2 Battle Compressors in this deck is pretty reasonable. You play a few supported cards that you want to get rid of it, and also those Fire Energies, which can be usually placed on your Mega Rayquaza. One computer search is the Ace Pack. When we talk about Ace Pack, well, that's just pretty logical explanation in this deck. Computer search, discard 2 cards from your hand and just pick any card from your deck and put it into your hand, shuffle your deck afterward. In my opinion, the best Ace Pack that you can play in this deck. Maybe you should try to take Dowsing Machine, but I would just give the advantage to the computer search. Moving on to 3 Mega Turbos. Well, with the Mega Turbos, he was able to attach those Fire Energies from his discard pile to his active or even benched Mega Rayquaza EX, which means that he can attack possibly with the one turn with the Mega Turbo and double Colorless Energies, and that is, in my opinion, pretty good with those Mega Evolution cards. The 4 Trainer's Mail in this deck also pretty good because it will allow you to look at the top 4 cards of your deck, and you can reveal a trainer card you find there, except for the Trainer's Mail and put into your hand. So basically with the Trainer's Mail, Anthony was able also to go to top of his 4 cards in the deck and pick the trainer he needs. 4 Ultra Balls, of course, main card and staple card in pretty much 90% of deck. Discard 2 cards from your hand and just search your deck for any Pokemon you need, reveal and put into your hand. Yeah, I'm still thinking that he played some Jirachis EX, but he didn't. Well, pretty logical because he don't have too much supporter cards. He have like only 6 supporter cards. He don't even have the Juniper or something like Sycamore. He just play one hand for draw, and that's pretty damn. In my eyes, I don't know how to even say. Well, but it's pretty professional. I mean, only 1 colorless and hand for draw. Well, that's huge. That's probably the reason why he played 4 Shaman and those Acrobikes and Trainer's Mail, so he really don't need to even play them. 4 Versus Seeker also. With Versus Seeker you can put support a card from a discard pile back into your hand, so he was pretty much able to have each supported, as you can see right here, possibly played 5 times with those Versus Seeker. Moving on to supporter cards, okay, we'll just review 2 more Flowstones before I go to supporter cards. Flowstone pretty much gave you the free retreat on your Pokemon in play if it's attached to them, so Flowstone is here probably and basically only for the Keldeo EX rushing ability, but in case you just stuck with something in the front, you just want to get rid if you don't have the Keldeos for rushing. But you can, for example, attach it to Hoopa to have free retreat, or the Shaman if you're stuck in front with it. But pretty much if you want to start with this deck, you should probably want to start with the Rayquaza in front, Ultra Ball your deck for the Hoopa EX, grab 1 Keldeo and maybe 2 Shamans and start to set up your bench pretty fast. Also, 4 Skyfields in this deck will allow you to have up to 8 Pokemons in play, and when your opponents replace Skyfield, you need to discard 3 Pokemons, or up to 3 if you have 8 in play, so you need to have 5 then on your bench. The same rule is for your opponent. Colress, ×1, shuffle your hand into your deck and draw a number of cards equal to the number of benched Pokemons. This is pretty logical choice also as the computer search, because you have a lot of Pokemon and pretty fast deck, and you can just play Colress and grab like 16 cards possibly in total. Ridiculously insane. Moving on to Getsus. Getsus is a pretty strong card, especially in the expanded. A lot of people play a lot of item cards. If you get a pretty decent and good hand in the top 7, and if you manage to set up pretty fast, and if you go first, you can just go guesses and reveal opponent's hand and shuffle all item cards from his hand back to his deck, and then draw a number of cards equal to the number of item cards you discarded from your opponent's deck hand to his deck. And that's pretty good in my opinion. This is one of the underrated cards that wasn't played and wasn't so popular until they expanded with like maybe few months ago. Also one copy of Hex Maniac. Well, with the Hex Maniac you can pretty much shuffle down abilities of each Pokemon's in play that has any abilities, so that can be good against those Blastoise deck, for example, those Shaymins, Crobat lines, even Garbodors, and stuff like that. Moving on to only 1 copies of Lysander. Well, only 1 copies of each supporter in this deck. So basically with the Lysander you can catch for free something on your opponent's bench without flipping a coin. So Lysander is a reprinted catcher but just in supporter form. Now 1 copies of N, the most broken card since I played Pokemon TCG, so pretty much with and you can shuffle down your and your opponent's hand to deck and then draw cards equal to the number of remaining prize cards left, both your and your opponent. And only 1 Winona, which will also help you to search your deck for up to 3 colors Pokemon, reel them and put into your hand and shuffle your deck afterward. And we also have, I totally forgot, 3 Rayquaza Spirit Links, which will allow you to evolve your Mega Rayquaza B without losing the extra turn. 7 energies in total. I mean, you will not lose the extra turn. You will just not lose the turn when you evolve it, because the Mega Evolution Pokemon have the ability when you evolve you need to lose your turn or end your turn if you don't have Spirit Link attached to your Mega Pokemon. 4 double colorless energy and 3 fire energies in this deck, so pretty much this makes 60 cards. I'm not sure why he played Fire Energies and he didn't play Blacksmith, but anyway, it is how it is. It's his deck. He managed to grab the top 8, and congratulations to Anthony Mimmons, who managed to get to top 8 in Virginia Regional Championship 2016. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this deck review video. Don't forget to hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more future videos. And until the next time, have a nice day and goodbye.